Okay, good morning, everybody. It's Kale Casey back with Norm McDonald, our incident commander, on day 7. We promised you when we first started our incident a week ago we'd do 7 of 7 live feeds. So this is a spontaneous break it down. Before we get into it, we want to thank everybody for going online and watching the community meeting last night. There's still so much engagement out there, so many good questions about wildlife. We have a couple reminders for you. Please don't get complacent with the rain. Chris Moore has warned us that we have a drying trend at the end of the week, so we're working really hard with the rain to make sure we get as much work as we can done before it gets dry. And also, please, if you're a mountain biker or a hiker, please stay out of the forest closure and BLM closure areas. We've had intrusions, and that's really, really dangerous. We want to give you a different perspective on how we consider our incident at this point. We've been here 1 week. We're up to 75% containment. And Norm, take it away.
All right, so yeah, like you said, we've been here 7 days. I've had some really good progress. I think you've been getting the operational briefings from our Ops Chief, John Glover, but our priority spot is right here in the northwest corner. A lot of hard work going in there. We have our Type 1 hotshot crews working in those areas. Really with the intent of this work is to nail down any chance of this fire later in the season as we get the frozen conditions and we get some changes in those fuel types to sneak in and around the backside of Glenwood. So putting a lot of effort into that. You'll see on the map we still have the red down here in the south end. That's the uncontained. We have crews working in there. It's going to be just it's a slow process. It's hard terrain, steep country, some dangerous areas. So we got our best crews in there taking their time, working slow, but really with the intent of getting as much of this buttoned up as we can over the next week that we're going to be here. One of the things that we always talk about when we come into an incident is the values. What are we protecting? What's important to the agencies we're working with and the locals. So a lot of the outreach we do with Kale and his group, with our cooperators, with myself and our agency administrators, and that's the U.S. Forest Service, BLM, and the state of Colorado, is find out what are the values out there, what are we doing and why. And we got very good direction day 1 from those groups. We get constant feedback from the public and validates what we're doing out here. Then that work we do with our cooperators, which is CDOT, the State Highway Patrol, the counties, really just kind of helps us dial in what we're doing, relay the importance of what we're doing to our troops so they understand that. And that just helps us make sure our mission is really clear from the top, our agency administrators, down to the folks swinging the tools on the line.
So let's take a look at this. Thanks, Norm, for that. And we often talk about task, purpose, and end state. Our task is to protect everything of value to you. And some people get caught up in acreage. They say, oh, wow, 30,000 acre fire. Well, in Alaska, we might have a 300,000 acre fire like we did in 2015 that's not impacting any values. It might be way interior, huge fire. We mapped, actually we came into this map, the other team mapped it too, within 5 miles of the fire perimeter. Look at this west side. We have a number up here that you can't read at home. There's $2.5 billion worth of values in Garfield County, right here, 4,143 structures, private property, within 5 miles of our fire. On the east side, there's $103 million, 424 structures, mainly because gypsum and eagle are outside of that 5 miles. How do you put a value on the recreation, on all the passion for hunting, the bighorn sheep, the big animals here, the hawks flying, the trails, the river, right? So that's not even a part of this huge number. But this map is something that we wanted to talk about because some folks might look at that acreage. For us, we're looking at the acreage, the watershed. Glenwood is going to possibly have some issues there. And this is just a really neat tool to show you that this is still a very complex incident because of all those values at risk.
Yeah, at this point, the complexity of this incident is not the firefighting. We've got a good foothold in there. The folks know where they're going. They got a good, safe operation. The complexity is just, like you said, Kale, just with what the groups we're working with and the values we're protecting. And I think people know where the communities are. That's a big one. CDOT gave us a really good stat that explained the importance to us of keeping that I-70 corridor open. But for every hour that highway is shut down, that's $1 million of commerce. So that is a huge impact to Colorado and the nation. So one of our primary objectives is keeping that corridor open. Another one, and like you said, putting value on it. How do you judge that in dollars and cents? But this is a huge rec area for the locals and people who live in Denver, around the country. They come here to enjoy the outdoors, biking, hiking, hunting. So we work closely with the guides in there, the outfitters. we're working with the agencies to really try to shrink that footprint down at some point with that closure and let people get back to that rec lifestyle they enjoy. I know for myself as an Alaskan, that's a really important part of my lifestyle, and I know for the folks here it is as well, and that's really loud and clear. Yesterday's public meeting, we had the Fish and Wildlife rep there.
Yeah, Matt did a great job.
Matt did an excellent job of kind of explaining what we're doing and some of the benefits of this fire that actually came out of it. But just an opportunity, we'll bring people like that into to our meetings and try to get those questions answered by the subject matter experts. So it was a really good idea that you guys had to bring them in the mix, and really paid off with I think you provided a lot of really good information, and we'll continue doing that.
Absolutely. If you're a hunter and you have those hunting questions, please go to the community meeting link last night, Zoom about 35 to 40 minutes in, and Matt goes right down the list. Yes, if you have a draw tag in an area that's closed because of a fire closure, you get the points back. Oftentimes the animals go and thrive in an area that's been closed. Oftentimes the lizards and sheep, lizards will tuck under rocks. Sheep will benefit greatly because they like to have line of sight, and when the pinyon and juniper burn, they get a much better forage. So if you're a hunter and have those hunting questions, please look at the community meeting. We'll try to get Matt on camera again, and we also want to remind hunters, bow season starts tomorrow. It's the 2nd to the 30th of September for those of you who aren't within the state of Colorado and watching from afar. Hunters tend to get very, very into their hiking, especially bow hunters, so please be cautious. If you're coming around a different way and making your way in, I just want to let you know, I've been up the Coffee Pot Road several times. It is extremely dangerous for us to be, even as fire personnel, commuting up and down that road. We have a radio system. Kim, our safety officer, swept the road yesterday before I even was able to go up because we had a huge lowboy. That road keeps me up at night when I think of what could go wrong on this fire. I worry about truck sliding. I worry about a big piece of equipment, an excavator, going up that road, maybe get jackknifed just because it's narrow and steep and it's high country up there. But we know this is a treasured area. It's gorgeous. The hawks dancing in the wind. That's where we shot that rainbow. Clearly a gem. You love it, we love it, but it's going to be a while before that road opens. And how do you put a price tag on that? So please just give us the chance to keep working on containment. We're getting there. Let's check in with Al Nash or Tim Mowry, our information officers behind the scenes, to see if anybody has any questions. And if they don't, we just want to let you know 589 firefighters are still very committed to this fire. People who have dropped off the stamped postcards, those all went out to the spike camps in the last few days. So for those of you just following along or maybe tuning in for the first time, the best ways to support fire crews, the banners that they see on the road, that just, when they come in and they've been out there for 14 days because we don't bring them in until the end, and we might not even bring them in to the camp. They might just be able to go to the river park and see your banners. That just makes it all worth it. We can see the families of firefighters posting, saying my son or daughter just got home and I got a postcard. So stamped postcards are another way to say thanks. You can drop them off, and people have been dropping off hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. They go out to their children. You have family.
Yeah.
Your daughter's starting school, and we're away, I'm away, and it just means so much to us. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Norm, close it out.
Yeah, so we got another 7 days left for our tour here. You know what our mission is continue a safe operation. We've got a lot of hard work to do. We're going to just put all the effort we can into it. We had a good shot of rain. That's going to help us out. So, you know, our mission really is get things back to as normal as possible for the people in these counties, the forest that we're working with, the BLM that's here, and just finish strong here. So we appreciate the support. We were told when we came in here the amazing support of these communities, and it has been amazing from the agencies and the cooperatives we work with and the public. You out there, we appreciate that. That goes a long way, just reinforcing the career we've chosen when we go to work in communities like this. So thank you, and we'll continue working hard here in the next 7 days, and turn it back to you, Cale. Thank you.
Appreciate it, Norm. We're day 7. You came back to us. We know you're busy. Thanks. Folks at home, again, please don't mountain bike on the local trails around Glenwood Springs that are closed, and please be careful with fire. Don't let the rain fool you. Long season ahead. Thanks.